Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the fourth grade concept of solving data problems. This is standard 4.9b in the great state of Texas, and we're using item number 15 off the 2024 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it. We will look at our answers together. All right, so take a look. We have a stem and leaf plot, and it shows the scores from a skateboarding event. We have a stem and a leaf. Now, as always, we need to look at our key right here, but take a look at this. 7 in this stem, and then that vertical line, right, separates it. And then you've got the 1 in the leaf that actually represents 7 and 1/10, or 7.1. So this looks like it's going to be the ones place, and this looks like it's going to be the tenths place. All right, so let's take a look at our scores here if we want to look at it this way, right? So the 6 with the 2, if I wanted to list it out, that's going to be 6 and 2/10. And then that's going to be a 6 and 7/10. Now looking at my 7s, and let's change color there. Let's make that a blue, right? 7 and 0/10, 7 and 1/10, 7 and 8/10. You see how they give it to us in order? Now let's go here. Now there's 2 5s. That's fine. That just means you repeat 8 and 5/10 twice, and it's okay to repeat that. And then finally you get your 9s. We're going to repeat the 2 as well. So it's 9.0, 9.2, 9.2, and then 9 and 6/10. All right, so all of this right here is what we get from our stem and leaf plot. Hopefully you see that it's a little bit more visually appealing if we put it in the stem and leaf plot, and it lets us know which band had the most scores. So, right, we had most of our scores in that 9 point something band. Okay, so now that we've got the data, we need to find the difference between the highest and the lowest score. Well, it's a little bit easier for us to see the highest and lowest score now that we've pulled it all out. Right, so we're going to see our highest right here and our lowest right here. If we didn't do any of that, you can still find it. It's just a little bit more difficult. You have to know that this is a 6 and 2/10, and that's 6 and 7/10. So you want to pull out that 6 and 2/10. Then on the 9, you have to pull out the bottom row, but you have to pull out the first number, the last number in the leaf for the 9, so the 9.6. That's where it becomes a little bit tricky. You're pulling out the first number of the leaf when you're doing the lowest, the last number of the leaf when you're doing the highest. But either way, right, we've got our 9.6. We have our 6.2. We are going to line up our decimals. Other than that, this acts just like regular addition or subtraction when you're dealing with decimals. Okay. And I mean, you've got a decimal right there. You can just bring it straight down. 6 minus 2 is going to be 4. 9 minus 6 is going to be 3. So I see that answer right there. Now let's think. Where do some of these other answers come from? Well, look at this. Look at the difference between B and D, right? The only difference is, this one obviously is 10 times bigger because you've got a decimal right there after the ones place. It's kind of invisible. And so how would someone get D? Well, they would get D if they didn't read the key. Realize that there's a decimal point right here between the stem and the leaf. So I could see some students choosing D because they just subtracted 96 and 62. And then you got this 15.8. Where does that come from? Well, if you don't know what the word difference means, look what happens if you add these two. Let's do a 9.6, 6.2. Look what you get. If you don't know that difference means subtract, you're going to get that. But we do. Our answer here is going to be B.